questions about that. Not sure what happened. We was just talking and guess
Yeah,
we
I don't
got
know what happened there.
questions.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. You good, man. Well, like we said, we're gonna continue on. Tell everybody about your organization and everything again. We're just gonna pick up where we left off. We all good.
Okay. All right. Well, I started Meta Association after going through addiction and so much wow turmoil over about a good 10-year period. My youngest son's first 10 years, and I didn't want any other black male, especially a young black father that was struggling with addiction and mental illness, to have to feel that void and desperation again. So that's why I started my nonprofit with cigarette money when I stopped smoking. And it's been a one man operation for the past 4 years, but we're blessed enough to have made it through the pandemic and some other circumstances, and we'll be celebrating 5 years at the end of January, God willing.
That's good. That's good, man. So I think we asked this already. What was your journey with mental health and addiction?
Oh, okay. Yeah, about 8, 7, I noticed that my emotions and things were my reactions and the way I process things were different. So my parents weren't the pray it away types. They were like, look, if you need medical help, we're gonna get you help. So
Right.
everything was addressed the right way. And I had I had a mental illness and I had to deal with the stigma and all the rigmarole with that. And with that, I developed an addictive personality. So in my 30s, when I really started going through things, life struggles, losing parents, divorce trauma, I developed an addiction to cocaine for about 10
Uh,
years.
uh,
And that really kind of took me down through it. I learned a lot from it. I try not to look at everything as such a down thing. It's what you get out of it. But that taught me a lot. That was my that was where I got my doctorate in life, and I just use that to try to help people now.
right. Yeah. Like you were saying, we dealt with the same thing.
Right.
Mental health, depression, anxiety, still deal with it sometimes. Um, and was on addiction.
Right.
So and we rarely say that on the show, but we dealt with that too. And mental health, that's really important to us, especially with Black people, because, like we were saying, a lot of us don't want to get help because we either in fear, denial, we don't want to face our own demons, if you will. And everybody out here dealing with something. So we applaud anybody that's willing to step up and get help. Now we have a daughter that's dealing with the same thing. So now
Right.
we able to help her and whatnot. But it's hard.
It's
It's
hard too
really
because
hard.
and I'm glad now that it's finally being discussed with black people because
Right.
man, for a long time you couldn't even. I mean, you would have some of us that would deny it even existed. You even have some of us now. It's like it's like trying to convince them that aliens exist. It's really that difficult. And me running a nonprofit, man, I can say this honestly. I get no donations. I'm not dependent on donations at all. I run mine as totally self-funded out of whatever income I derive. Because
So do
not
you
only
have
are
like a
people.
building?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I
No.
mean, I'll be moving into one soon, but it's like people would think, well, you've been doing this 4 years. I'm sure you've gotten what over 4 years, $500 in donations. No,
Wow.
it's just that, and I bring it up to say this: a lot of times with us, there's an apathy in our communities to where we want the benefits of that homegrown help. We sit up here and we say, well, yeah, let's be black owned, black this, black that, but we don't support
Uh-huh.
ourselves. It's easy to sit up there and thump your chest when somebody gets shot and say Black Lives Matter and da da da. But what about the other 364 days of the year too? You have to
All
support
that.
yourself. You have to support your own healing, your own facilitation.
In order for us to do that, we gotta love ourselves first. We don't
True,
know
and
how to
it
do that.
starts with mental health. Exactly
Right.
right.
We look to other people so much for approval and love and acceptance. And that's why it starts with yourself. It's called self acceptance, self
Yeah.
esteem. You can't
And,
expect somebody to do for you what you don't want to do for yourself. Yeah, it's
right.
like if we didn't love ourselves and we're married. How can we
Mm-hmm.
love our husband or be faithful or even be honest or be truthful when we lie to ourselves? And
Right.
that's what a lot of black people do.
Right. Right. And one thing too is if you're not mentally healthy, you'll mess around and end up choosing the wrong people to seek that validation from.
Oh man, dude, we learned that
See, once
so
you
many
start
times.
that, then you on a whole other road to destruction. You know, and we had that's why we have to be careful with our young men, especially our young women too, as
Oh
black
yeah,
men and fathers, because if we fall off, then we just set the roadmap for our daughters to keep picking the wrong men over and over again. So this mental health stuff runs really, really deep with people, and you know, I just hope that this dialogue keeps going because I tell my kids all the time. This is I know this might sound a little overblown to some people. This is my legacy to my kids. This is my legacy to your kids. This is my legacy to the world. To at least get this discussion going so it can prompt some dialogue. It can prompt some thought. It can maybe initiate change in one person. If it affects one person, they might well admit it will have, how can I put this? It will have had the effect I want.
yeah.
You know,
So
because
is that the effect you're looking for?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that now we having this conversation with you, man. We wouldn't have had these discussions 5 years ago.
Nope.
Black folks and mental health, are you crazy? That's white folks' problem. You know that?
Exactly. And
Don't
that
you
was
know
so
we don't
crazy
take them
to
pills? You a black man with emotion, man. You soft. It was that sort of thing, and it
it was
still
just
is
like that.
today. We got black
Man,
insecurity. See,
but
black men. Let me say something about us brothers. I'm catch heat for this. We the most insecure men on earth. Not because of our doing, not entirely, but because we be conditioned that way as a way to pacify us. When they had us on the plantation, we was our masculinization started back then, separating us
yep,
from the family. You take away the head of the family, what you think is gonna happen in your society?
it's gonna fall apart every time.
Yeah, it's gonna break it mentally. You broke the foundation right then. That's the mental health of the family. And one thing I always say is that everything ties into mental health because when I began my recovery, I've noticed that everything was rooted there in my mind. Not saying my spirit wasn't tied into it because it is. But to me, the spirit is a personal thing. I don't mess with folks in the spirit. I might advise you. I tell you my journey, but however you get there, that's on you. I
Right.
tell you my story, but you got to walk your own path on that. But you know, it was like I noticed everything I did was it was a correlation. Even my physical health because I'm physically disabled. I
Okay.
have heart problems, diabetes, but everything was tied in with that. Then opportunities for me to make income started coming about because I changed the way I thought. My relationships with women in my life changed. I don't mean just romantic. I mean even with just how I view womanhood because I've always been chivalrous. I've always been had a real strong sense of chivalry, but just in the way I looked at womanhood as a whole changed, which really blew my mind because I've always had appreciation for womanhood, but now it's different because it's just weird how things happen. It opens up your way of thinking. So
Yep.
and it's really an amazing thing, and I want more of my brothers to see that, so I can sit with my brothers and have these discussions. I look forward to days where we can congregate at a cigar bar and just have guy time without worrying about it being beef. We can have heated dialogue without worrying about it being violent. Where we can
Yep.
bring our sons together and show them those. I know they sound corny, but that's how much this
No,
mental
it
health ties into everything because I've seen it happen.
yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I've seen it happen. So, and that's what I'm trying to do with my nonprofit. My nonprofit mental association. People always ask me, what does meta mean? METTA.
Yes.
Okay. I study a lot of different religions. I consider myself a Christian. I believe in God, but I respect all different religions. Meta is a Buddhist word meaning to be inclusive of everyone.
Okay.
Okay. So that's why I chose that word. That means a lot to me. So the three tenets of meta are this: black male mental health, fighting recidivism, because I feel as though our American legal system is nothing but inventory. We're inventorying human souls and human bodies, and that's wrong. I teach a job training course with people that have been justice affected, so I'm actually doing the work. And I feel as though we deal with the mentally ill by putting them in jail. We don't give them
Yep.
adequate care in jail.
Nope.
Then we release them back into society, ill equipped to be successful. And it's not fair to them. And these are
Nope.
parents. These are our sons, daughters, friends, neighbors. One thing personally I don't do. I know some people have a problem with this. I don't want to know your charge. I don't. But I deal with you. Really don't want to know because I don't want to cloud myself with anything. I don't want to come into the situation of dealing with you with anything that may cloud me subconsciously. So I don't want to know your charge. I just want to help you. I want to make sure you got mental health care. I want to make sure you got job training. Then I want to leave it on you to go out and earn it. But I want to make sure you got an even keel. Because these people going back out in the community, these parents. So how do we expect these kids to turn out? They so what they made a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake.
Of
Because they
course.
got caught. You know,
Yeah. No.
just make
Everybody
it.
got. Yeah.
And another, the third tenet of meta is fatherhood. Black fatherhood is. I hope I don't get emotional talking about this, but
No. Take
black
that.
fatherhood is so disrespected.
Mm.
I have
No,
I
we
have
gotta agree
five
with that.
I have 5 kids. I have 2 boys biologically. I have 3 step kids. I have
Okay.
17-year-old is my oldest son biologically. I have had to fight to be my son's father all his life. I've lived with shit, blood, sweat, tears, money, just to have people not tell my son I was a POS. I have had people lie to
Mm-hmm.
my son and say, "You know what, son? Father's never been in your life." And literally, I've been in this boy's life 4 days after we all his life. Just delusional crackheads just ruining the boy to the point where he's 17 and he's just out of control. And you know what I had to do? I had to wash my hands. I got
Yep.
custody of this boy. I done everything I could do, but you know what? And he's bipolar. And,
Wow.
and I deal with parents that's raising children with mental illness. And I was talking to this one woman one time, and she really got emotional, and it touched me because I know how she felt. And I told her, I said, "Ma'am, you know what?" And my son was sitting right next to me, and I looked there at him. I said, "You know what, man? You need to let that boy go." I said, "You did all you could. You did everything you're supposed to do. Change your locks, change your number.
Hmm.
At some point, yeah, I ain't one of these people that's gonna sit there and tell you live for your kids. No, you don't. You don't live for your
Oh,
mom. You don't live for your kids. I'm gonna tell
live
you real.
yourself.
You get rid of toxic folks. You have to. I don't care if
Yeah.
it is big mama. People don't like when I say that either. I'm not worried about trying to be popular or politically correct. I'm gonna say what is reality.
Yep.
I'm estranged from my blood family. There's a reason why. I'm better off. You know, that's part of protecting your peace. It's part of protecting your mental
Yep.
health. How many people we know deal with that same toxic mama? Everybody don't, but you deal with it anyway because mama. You go over there every Sunday and deal with that mess and go home stressed out because it's mama.
Yep.
Come on. We gotta start treating
Yeah.
ourselves better.
Yeah. And that's what we had to do too. When I talk to a lot of our family, um, we got a lot of people we used to deal with don't deal with them no more.
Yeah.
And you got to, by all means, we had to go through a whole lot just to be like, okay, you got to start protecting your peace and stop going back and forth because everybody don't have the same heart. They don't have the same intentions, or at least good ones. And we had to stop dealing with a lot of people. We did. And it was fun you said something about the plantation because that's where it all started at. That's where all the hate and the separation and division, that's where all that started at. And
Mm-hmm.
now that we got an opportunity to know better, and mental health is something that needs to be talked about amongst Black people more. We
Exactly.
have the choice to either do it or don't. And you also mentioned something about religion. We're Muslim. So that's a whole different, don't know how much you know about that, but that's a whole different
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle. And one of the things that we've been learning since studying is to promote peace
Right.
amongst our people. And that's something we don't know how to do. We have to learn how to do it, but we've been programmed so much. All we know how to do is just like you said, we got to fight to be in our kids' life. You know, all of ours are in Florida. We got 4 biological and 8 by marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, oldest son doesn't speak to us. We can barely talk to our other two because they dads got a problem with us for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And oldest will be 18 in a couple weeks, knows more than us all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That amazing. But we just say all that to say you don't live for nobody but yourself. So we agree with that. You have
True.
to cut off anybody in your life that's toxic. We don't care who it is. Your mama, when it's time, you gonna be judged. Not them. They ain't gonna be there with you. None of that.
No, no.
So
No.
you got to live your life and do it right, of course. But no, we all gonna make mistakes. But you got to live your life for you. That's why we say it's a lot on our show, and we had to learn it. Like it's self motivation. Stop expecting other people to motivate you. It's self love. Stop expecting other people to love you. This is
Yeah.
one of the main reasons, and we went through it, why a lot of us deal with mental health because we always rely on somebody else for something that's already within ourselves. And once you
Thank you.
realize all that power, and if you got people in your life that support you, by all means, that's great. But majority of the time, you're not. So if you're always relying on that, you're gonna wind up, fortunately, doing something you may regret.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I think you helped me realize what a lot of my problem was. Like earlier when you asked me, when you allude to the period where I was going through a lot of stuff, I was doing exactly what you just said. I was expecting folks to be what they weren't. I was
Yep.
expecting people to have the heart I had. I was expecting people to be what I want thought they could be instead of what they were.
Yep.
See, I don't trust anybody, but I trust people to be themselves.
And
I
they're gonna
trust people to
always
be who
show
they
you who
are.
they are.
You know, there
Yeah.
are some people I trust, but I trust people to be who they've shown me to be, who they've revealed themselves to be to me. And I would have thought for a long time that would have made me closed hearted, but it's really helped me open up to more people because now I don't have that, okay, this person's gonna hurt me this way. It's like,
All right.
what can you do to hurt me? I've already survived everything. If I survived what my mama could do, I survived what my son could do. What can you possibly
And
do?
come on.
Yeah, I mean, I've survived addiction. I've survived death. I survived what God got to test me. So I mean, you just pussycat. So come on.
Let's go. What you got?
Yeah.
That's how we look at people now. Like, man, if we told you our story, you wouldn't even believe it. You
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't believe half of what and we're only 36.
Yeah.
We're only 36 years old, so we still young, to us. But we look at somebody like our husband that done been paralyzed and did 3 tours in Afghanistan and done been pronounced dead, and
Mm-hmm.
it, if he can go through all that, that's why he got the mentality he got. What can you do to hurt me? I done been through it all, and we think the same way. And
And
people think that we arrogant, for it, but no. What you got to understand is people done tried to kill us.
yeah,
We're here.
and people mistake. You can tell people that are survivors as opposed to people who are not because it's cool you bring this up. I'm smiling. uh, like people that beat addiction, that really beat it, they have a certain confidence about themselves. I don't know if you've ever noticed this or not. They have a certain, it's not even arrogance. It's like a certain way about themselves because
Yep.
they know what they overcame.
Yep.
And people that never experienced it, you might see it as arrogance, but I like seeing it in other people because I know it's a certain thing that they survive because it gives you a certain compassion toward all people.
Yep.
It's a certain thing that I know by me overcoming my addiction because I'm always gonna be in recovery. You never fully recover if you're addict. I don't believe. There's some people may disagree. I just don't.
Nah, you kind of learn to deal with it a lot easier.
Deal with it, but you can't
Yeah.
always. Yeah, that's all. It's a certain element is always gonna be there. I'm not saying you're always 2 seconds away from snorting your brains out, but I'm saying there's always gonna be a part.
Right.
There's always gonna be a part.
Yeah, yeah, it will. Don't dwell on it.
No, no,
But
no,
you
no, no.
still got
Don't dwell on
you still got
let
to
me put
move.
it this way. If I see somebody that I know is going through it, I can recognize it.
Right.
Okay, that's what I mean. But it makes me want to help people more. You know,
Exactly.
it makes you want to give more, and that's why I talk so much about helping other nonprofits. That's why I tell people, even if you don't like me for whatever reason, if you don't want to support my nonprofit, even if you think I'm trash, support somebody in
Hmm.
your local community because
Of
they probably
course.
somebody that's been through it. You know,
Of course. That's
it
one of
man.
the biggest things is support. We don't want to support our own people either. And what we got to
No,
realize is like it don't take away from you. It's like if we both had a nonprofit, we may be on different religions and whatnot, but we still, hey man, we'll still come out and support or whatever, and vice versa. That's gonna boost us.
yeah, I mean, like I had an event in Memphis a couple weeks ago. Um, Wonderful lady helped me out. She was giving away backpacks. I'm like, everybody was coming to take some, but nobody came to give anything.
Mm-hmm.
You have to think about that too. Think about that when you're going to get those resources. Yeah, while you in the struggle, get what you need to survive. But when you blessed, give something back. Take them $20. Offer to help pack some backpacks. Be like, y'all need me to help run some boxes somewhere. It's so many ways that you can help a small struggling, not just nonprofit, but church, school, community group that I can tell you from experience, things that you would never think they need, that won't cost you a thing, could mean the world to them. There have been times one time I was blessed enough to be able to give a big food donation. I just need somebody to drop off some boxes. You know,
Wow.
I mean, it could be something little. Always look in your community. And I urge listeners, always look in your community tab. See who's having a free thing. On a Saturday morning, go there for a couple hours. Just say hey. If you're not doing nothing, and I know people not gonna do it, but it would really make your communities a better place. Because otherwise, they don't sit around and whine about gentrification. Because you know what? You causing it. Don't sit around and talk about how it's nothing in your community. Because your laziness is bringing that on. Like you not supporting and you not taking care of yourself. If you won't sweep your own front porch, don't expect anybody else to do it for
Exactly. Thank you for saying that. Because so many of us are so damn lazy, it don't make no sense. But we want somebody to just give us something. You got to get like our schedule is so busy with a full-time job, we be tired every day. But guess what? Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. That's not how this world works. And if they do, there's always an attachment. It's nothing free. Never. So
you.
you
Nothing
have
for
to get up and stop being lazy. Can't be no more blunt than that. And do something different.
yeah.
We can all come together and stimulate all our communities, but we just mess them up. And
We
then we
mess
wonder
them
why
up.
we don't.
We mess them up. We leave the house granny left for us. We follow them out. They move back, take over our grandmama's house, build it up better, and make us pay for it all over again.
Money
What do you do that
in
That's all I'm
America.
saying.
But that's how
We,
it's been set up, though.
I know, but
It's
see,
never been
here's the
set up
thing.
for us
But
to
here's the thing.
make it.
We know all this stuff is set up this way. Why we keep doing the same stuff?
Thank you.
We know it's set up. I mean, at this point, we've been doing it
Yeah.
really since the 70s. How they got it kind of lined up for us, right? Why we keep doing the same stuff? It seems like other cultures coming over here and they kind of catching on quick. They making us look kind of dumb. Now, we're
Very.
not dumb. We're not a dumb people. Are we just stubborn or are we just blind?
Man, we'll say both, man, because it's, it's like what you said, because our opinion, we living in a whole fantasy out here. We
I
think
mean,
this our world and this the way it's supposed to be, and we cool with it. We
yeah.
want to get in with everybody and fit in and be seen and lie and
Mm-hmm.
be fake and all that because it's glamorous. It's their reality, but the reality is you keep going down that road, you're gonna get dead.
Yeah. And I tell you one thing, like back during, remember during the Will Smith slap thing?
Oh
I,
yeah.
I was really trying to promote my nonprofit, man. I was really doing my fundraising thing. I was just really promoting on social media. The slap happened. You think I got any kind of traction? I mean, I don't. Excuse me about the ambulance. I already don't get traction because I'm a black man doing a nonprofit. But that's a whole other subject. And I don't do that to whine. I just tell my experience. But
Hmm.
you know that slap got so much attention and so much debate. I'm like, hold on, let me make that pass. I'm sorry.
No, no, you fine, man. You good. Yeah, we heard all about that. Yeah, we was
Oh,
like,
and I,
this?
and I'm in what's considered a good part of town. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm just playing.
Oh,
But I'm just being a
you
little
good.
silly. But that stirs up so much conversation. But I was thinking, when was the last time that I've seen how people engage in this much discourse about anything important?
Never.
Never, never. We've had major issues that have affected us. We haven't had a modicum. I'm like, is this what it takes to stir us? And we are, our situation is dire because I look at other cultures, and I don't mean to break it down around socioeconomic factors, but that's just how it's breaking down.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. But my whole thing is they they can still get stuff accomplished, but seem like we can either do something or nothing. And I don't see any news about us backing anything as far as legislation. I don't see about us rallying to anything unless the police kill somebody and we march a couple of days. I don't see any real push, and I don't see any real effort. I don't see any direction. And not saying, well, we don't have any black leaders. You don't need nobody to lead you.
Y'all do know all the black leaders we had done got dead, right?
Yeah,
Just
they
ask.
got dead, but I mean,
I'm just, I'm just saying. And how they do that? By trying to do the same thing over and over, same result. You got to do something different. We can't even trying to put it in words, but we still need to be a change.
yeah.
But we're looking at the wrong people to step up and make it. We can't say this enough. We got to be the ones to do it. They're not going to do it. They're laughing and killing us and making money. All this has been set up.
And we
All we
haven't.
got is
And the
come
one thing,
together.
and the one
Wake
great.
up. Go ahead.
Okay, and the one great equalizer in all this is I'm gonna tie this back around to mental health.
Yeah.
This is why we got to fix our mental health. What's the one great equalizer in this world? Money.
Money.
Right. What's gonna make us the most money? Getting our mental health straight. Here's how. We get our mental health straight. We get our community straight. We can start becoming an economic power. We can become an economic power. You think folks gonna care so much that we black? No, they gonna see if these people can make money, we'll deal with them. We ain't got to like them, but we respect them because they can bring in commerce. Just like with the other races. We do that, then we have something to say. Because nobody's ever gonna 100% like you anyway. But we get our mental health straight, we can start to get ourselves together. We can start to right our ship socially, educationally, spiritually, relationship wise, economically, then have a voice, then the right leaders will rise, then we will do the right
Yep.
thing, and we can make our money and have a voice and make ourselves as equal as we can be in this world. But it got to start with our mental health. So everything we've been talking about flows from mental health. Everything. That's the root. Mental
That's
health and
enough.
your spirit.
Yeah, that's the number one place you can get people is their mental. All you gotta do is say the right thing or the wrong thing or put the right thing or the wrong thing in front of their face. That's how you get them. TV.
Yeah. And it's something, it's this every individual can control. See, that's something that every individual has that's unique to them. Your mind is yours. You can control as much unless you have a diagnosis now. That's another issue. But as far as someone without a diagnosis, you can control if you have a relatively healthy mind, you can control what goes in and out of it. Because what you go eat, what goes in is what you get out. Now that's the literal truth. Now, because if you sit up there on TikTok watching a whole bunch of BS, what you think you're gonna get out? What you think gonna come out on paper? Watch a half an hour or something and write down what you think. Then watch a half an hour with something stupid and see what comes out. You see what I'm saying? See, we can control our minds.
Shows and fake celebrities and fake reality and
yeah, they can tell me. I mean, I don't even know who's a celebrity nowadays. Little so and so, little so and so. They can tell me more about little so and so than they can about what their kids do.
Yep.
Don't know their kids first grade teacher, but they know little so and so address. Come on, man.
And if we can look that up, all that for we can look up the truth, get some knowledge, and find out what's really going on. But we just lazy. We don't want to know that info because that means we're gonna be held accountable at that point. So that means we're gonna know the truth. We're gonna have some real knowledge, and then we got to pass it on. Another thing we don't want to do, we'll pass on how to twerk. We'll pass on how to cuss or sag our pants and use this person and manipulate this person. But we don't know how to then promote, help your brother, help your sister, help your mama. No, none of that. It's a choice. And a lot of our people are on one.
And then they wonder why they can't break through. And also, you got to be careful who you. I know we kind of going. We going off so many subjects, but man, and this is the beauty of. This is why I'm blessed in the fact that I get to talk about this. I get to touch so many different subjects with people. But you also have to be careful with your mental health as far as who you surround yourself with.
Yep.
Because if you surround yourself, what's the saying? And this relates to black people too.
I don't know the exact one, but it's something along the line. You become the people you surround yourself with, or something like that. I don't know the exact.
Yeah, I think it goes like if you have 4 rich people and 1 poor person, you'll eventually have 5 rich people.
Right.
Something like that, and that's true. If there was a point in time I was hanging around people, not that I'm judging people because they were good people, but at heart, but I had to elevate my a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. You have to be around that which you seek. If I wanted to be sober, I had to be around sober people. If I wanted to be, financially stable, I had to be around people that thought financially. I had to be around people that had a fiduciary conscience about themselves. And we have to get out of that because a lot of us too, we get stuck in the mindset of sitting in one place and being complacent. I had to leave Memphis. Memphis was quicksand for me, and it was quickly going to kill me.
Thank you.
And you have to be can't be afraid to move. You got to leave mama. You got to leave that couch. You got to leave that woman's bosom. You got to leave everything and strike out and do your thing because if it don't jump, you can't fly. And the world got some of us so afraid to jump. That's why so many black men laying on some woman's couch right now. And you know, and just being honest. And they have ideas and they have drive and they want to do stuff. Something, there's one switch is keeping them from pulling this trigger because I've seen it so many times. Oh, George, I want to do this business. I want to do that. I want to do this, and I got this idea. What's stopping you? What's that one last thing? It's the mental ill. I mean, not mental illness. It's the mental health. It's that generational trauma that's stopping you. It's the insecurity. It's that broken relationship with that woman in your life. It's that what if I'm not man enough? What if I mess up? It's that male ego. It's that one thing that makes us and breaks us. It puts us in jail. It ends up with us in the ground, but yet we hang our hat on
You know, we had to come to the realization that a lot of people ain't gonna want to save themselves.
it. No.
That's very sad, but it's true. A lot of us ain't gonna want to wake up, and we blame it hugely on this world because a lot of people live in what they what you want to call illusion.
Yeah.
But reality really is instead of facing what's really about to happen. If anybody was really watching videos on TikTok, y'all would see that about 20 states is underwater right now.
Yep.
That's not a sign.
Yep.
Just saying, if they everybody looking at all this other stuff on social media, another video our husband's son think it was over in China, they starting to have a drought or something in almost the whole country. Come on now, this is not stuff that's happening by accident. Well, we all living in this fantasy because guess we think we gonna live forever. This world's gonna go on forever. That's not how it's gonna go.
Well, the world makes it so easy for us to hide from reality with social media. You know, we can turn the news off just like we can turn off reality. You know, it's flooding outside the door, but nah, let me get on TikTok and watch some girl shake herself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's almost though we watching the world by now. People don't even talk anymore. Rarely. You know,
Nope.
how many? You know, when was the last time you really struck up just a conversation with somebody out in public?
Oh
It don't
wow.
happen much. You know, so I mean, it's just the way everything is going. It's becoming so depersonalized. It's like, especially with mental illness, you don't see it get worse and worse, and that's why you notice so much talk about mental illness because the pandemic, people were isolated. So
Yep.
now, as far as the news, the powers that be can do anything they want now.
And we believe it. We believe it every time because it oh, we're gonna say it and we're gonna make sure we say it right. But even when you watching the news, you think they're telling you the truth, but they're lying about the truth. That's why we saying go do your research. Don't believe everything they're telling you. You know, our main thing with this COVID mess is why y'all think they came up with a vaccine so fast?
Exactly. They just saying it.
Because we're playing. Along other things, people actually thinking that you're gonna get this vaccine and they gave it to us to look out for us. We ain't have it. We ain't get no vaccine. We don't know if you have or not. But we're not doing that.
That's true.
Everybody's falling for it. That's the only reason why we're saying that because don't nobody can do because they said you want to travel, you want to do this, now you gotta go get this shot. You don't know what's in it. It might kill you if you already got a condition. You know, we just go do it. Whatever they say, do. But when somebody trying to really um, give you some knowledge and point you in the right direction, you're looking at them like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, the skepticism. People don't really discern information like they should, and it's because we have information overload, and we need to unplug sometimes. I wish there was some way to mandate that people unplug one day a week just to give themselves a chance to decompress. I wish we could mandate this so bad. Everybody take one day off and no media. You just have to just sit in the room, just eat fresh fruit and water, and just chill. I think that would help our health so much as a country because we just oversaturated. We overwhelm ourselves. We overburden.
Yep.
And it makes it hard for us, and it makes it hard on we make it hard on each other. So we need to slow down this pace, and we're moving all wrong. And I see other cultures learning that and trying to correct it, and I'm hoping that maybe in some way that I will get to a point with me and my nonprofit that maybe we can come up with a way for people to be able to do that, for our people to be able to do that in a way that's not only effective but expedient. Maybe some kind of self care program where we can take time to decompress, purest thought, and introspection, because I think they will go a long way to protecting people's mental health. Perhaps something where we encourage employers to make time available for maybe an hour a day or an hour a week or two for employees to have a room to go and sit and just do things like that. I don't know that may sound lofty or unusual, but that's how things start. At least we're starting the dialogue because now you're beginning to have. I've noticed you're beginning to have employees have what's called. I tell you what, I worked for this one place had what's called a red room. Had couches, really no electronics where you could go, charge your phone, basically take a nap and relax, and it helped a lot of morale. So little unconventional things like that, and it just takes action. You know, we have to do what we can to try to stop the degradation of what's going on because it's only going to get worse. Look at the violence we have to deal with. I'm from Memphis, and I live in Dallas, and I have to hear about my hometown every day. It breaks my heart. And Memphis was bad when I was there.
Man, we get alerts on our phone every day about the weather, people dying and being murdered and raped and killed, and we just be shaking our head. We don't go nowhere because it's crazy out there. And the only place we go is to work, and that's it. It is nothing like when we was coming up, when we was a kid. It's so much. We ain't have no Facebook or Instagram or none of that. So whatever dumb stuff we did, it wasn't out there for the world to see. Now everybody just they don't care. Parenting unchanged, co-parenting, relationships ain't nothing like it used to be. Everybody just want to do them, and just think about themselves.
It's like this. Like parents nowadays get mad because kids did something on camera instead of get mad that kids did it at home.
Yep.
It's not, man, why did you do that? It's why did you do that on camera?
Why did you record it? Why did you get caught?
Yeah, why did you get caught?
Why did you
come down here? No, man. So we got a lot of work to do, and it's just gonna come through dialogue and exploring the mental health system because a lot of these people that are out here, a lot of these incidents, when you hear about them on the news, especially the violent ones, it's not random. It's not happenstance. It's usually something that escalated. It's usually something where somebody had a previous run-in. It's usually something that's domestic. It's usually something that could have been prevented. Had it been properly followed up, had it been properly mental or medical intervention. So a lot of this stuff is presented. And I know how people on the street are. A lot of this stuff is egged on. I'm not gonna let that man go on do you like that. I'm gonna ride you on around there and that. It's just how this stuff go down. Just go with
Yep.
it.
Yep. And that's the one of the biggest things with mental health. And we get it, y'all. It's hard out here. It's been hard for us. We already know. And like we said, one of the biggest things we feel is we keep relying on this world and other people to do what we can do for ourselves. And that's one of the things that we believe in Islam and what our messenger teach is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, don't know if you heard of him or not, but is to teach us how to do for ourselves. And that's one thing that we got to do. Just like you said, and we're going to piggyback off that. You got to get up and take action. You can't just sit around talking. You got to get up and do something for yourself. And a lot of people ain't going to agree with it because they don't know, nor do they want to know, but they don't want it. You know, you got to, it's hard. It's hard, especially with COVID. You know, a lot's been shut down or closed in, if you will. A lot of people don't want to travel. It's getting a lot worse. It's not going to get any better anytime soon. But the only thing we can say you can't control is yourself and how you going to deal with whatever, because everybody dealing with something, whatever your situation may be. And it's just not on anybody else. It's really on us. Really, action got to be taken and belief got to come behind it. If we don't believe, ain't nobody even gonna take no action. You there?
You there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I dropped out for a second. Yeah, but once you're accountable to yourself, then it's easy for you to hold everybody else accountable because you can see their culpability in things. And once somebody
Mm-hmm.
holds themselves accountable, then it's easy for them to make changes. It's easy for them to correct flaws. It's easy for them to see areas where they can improve. But as long as a person is ducking and hiding and saying I did and I don't,
Yep.
nothing's ever gonna change. And a big part, like with my co-parenting style with my ex-wife, it's really a beautiful system the way it's working out for our son.
Okay.
You know, we had an ugly divorce, but we good friends now because I was accountable for my mess ups. I sat down alone with myself and said, "Look, George, this mess up. This is you got to get over this. You need to deal with this, bro." And I had to talk with myself. And when I did, it was so liberating. It's like I forgave myself for a lot of stuff. And once I did that, I was able to, all right, you know what? I was mad at her. I'm not mad at her anymore. I was mad about this. It wasn't that big a deal. Now, I was right to feel this way, but now I'm able
Yeah.
to move past it.
Yeah.
It's like I had a million epiphanies. And, and I'm so blessed because now, you know, even though we had it dramatic like 911 type stuff like going on, but I've got a good friend. She's a wonderful mother, a great co-parent, and I can go to bed every night knowing my son is in good hands. And when he was me, she know that she can go to sleep knowing that he's with his dad. And as a black man, and I say this all the time, as a black man, knowing what I've been through and knowing what I know, you have no idea what kind of peace of mind it buys. So, if I can find a way to teach that and teach what I learned to my other brothers, because I know full well that everybody else co-parent ain't gonna be like mine and willing to work, but I can still try to impart what I can to give them that sense of peace for themselves. So at least they'll have that for them and their children.
And a lot more people do that. That that's something we had to do as well. We had to sit down with ourselves when we really was getting fed up and be like, okay, this way you messed up. You should have did this and you didn't do it. Whole 9 yards. We had to sit down and hold ourselves accountable. Now we still do that.
Yeah,
we still do that every day. It's like we grade ourselves, and now we know where we messed up, where we made the mistake at, and we still trying every day to improve it. So we're gonna say this. We're gonna go ahead and close out. We really had to realize what we went wrong. Yeah, we might have been justified and whatnot, but still, we had to realize really where we went wrong at and make the changes. And that's what we're gonna keep saying. It's a lot of our black people need to do.
and I think a lot of times we like with black men especially, and I ain't picking on us. I'm just saying what I know because I'm guilty of it still to this day. Sometimes we listen to respond, well, we listen to react, and we don't always listen to understand or comprehend like we should, especially to our women. And we got to get better about that because we do that with each other too. A lot of times, especially when we have our little flares and confrontations. And that's something too I hope we can improve upon because that's something I work on all the time. I have to work on that every day, especially when I get agitated about something. And I'd be like, I'm just waiting on her to say what I want her to say, so I go on and act like I'm gonna act. Go. No, I have to slow down, and I hope there's something that carries over to people is that even though I'm saying this stuff, I'm willing to say, hey, I'm still doing it too. I don't want to sit up here and be like, hey, I got it all figured out because I don't.
No.
I just got an idea, but I'm just willing to, hey, walk with you, on it. But yeah, we have to, that's been a big problem with black men. They taught us how to work. They taught us how to bust our knuckles, but you notice they didn't teach us how to read, write, and communicate. They made sure we didn't know how to do that. You see, now we ain't got no excuse.
Nope.
They made sure the first thing they took away from us was our communication with you. Am I right?
Yep.
They move you in one direction with the kids, they move us in the other. Think about what they took away first, and let's just recover everything back in that order. Let's take our time and do it back. Just put the pieces back, and let's see what we get. But we got to put we got to put ourselves back. We coming for y'all because we not ready right now to deal with y'all. And what I mean by that is we not equipped to give y'all what y'all need. Not all of us. A lot of us not. This is what I believe. I'm not the best man that I can be. I'm not. I got a long way to go.
We all do. We all do.
I'm not the best father I can be yet. My kids actually tell me I'm a pretty good dad, which is a good feeling.
That's good.
That just means I'm trying.
We get the same thing from us, so we already know how it is. But all you can do, you get up every day and keep trying.
Keep trying.
Moving in the better direction. Instead of going backwards, move forward.
Keep going forward. And that's all we can do. Every day, I say this, and this is something I genuinely do. I get up every day and I say, before I go to bed, before I get up, well, not before I go to bed, I say, do I know more now? Am I better off now than I was this time yesterday? And every day I can always say yes. Am I more blessed today than I was yesterday? Did I do something to bless somebody today that may not have been blessed yesterday? I can always say yeah. Because if you live your life like that, you just try to live for other people in a sense that make the world a better place than it was the day before, you're going to be all right.
That's true, man. That's true, man. So anything else you want to say before we get out of here and get everybody your social media?
All right, this has been so much fun. You can reach me at metaassociation.org. That's METTA association.org. My office number is 214-810-6518. Of course, if you don't get me, just leave a voicemail to shoot me a text. I always answer my calls personally. And you can follow me on Facebook under George P. Brooks.
All right, man. Well, thank you once again for coming on the show. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you again, and you have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right, man.